Hey guys, how's it going? What's up? Second video today, tech toys. So, if you haven't caught our first video for today, the new LG screen, do check it out. Awesome monitor, guys. So, while I was actually doing my unboxing video of this nice new monitor, the new iPad I've been waiting for finally came in. So this is supposed to be the blue 64 gig iPad Air 4th generation, Wi-Fi and cellular. In case you guys haven't caught it on the channel lately, we actually buy all of our phones and our iPads from our cell courier. It's a lot more affordable for us because we're just not made out of money, and we like expensive toys too, like everybody else. And a good way to get them is definitely through your cellular phone carrier. And you know, probably millions of us around the world do this. And it is practical, I think. But unfortunately, what happens with cellular carriers is they don't always carry a huge selection when it comes to your iPads. Because they do have a bigger one than this, but our carrier currently doesn't carry it. And even if they all of a sudden came out with it, I wouldn't trade up anyways. I think 64 gigs is going to do for my purposes for quite some time. Where other people, yeah, you're going to want the bigger, badder one, definitely. So this is known as the iPad Pro Killer laptop, all over YouTube. And, well, I'm kind of curious myself. But I wanted one for a multitude of reasons. I wanted a second iPad, but I didn't want something basically the same as what I have, because I have a 7th gen. So we do get a Type-C to Type-C cable. We do get a charging block. Thank you, Apple. Now why can't you do this with your phones like you were? Makes sense. We need these power blocks. And you know what? We were at the dollar store today and they still don't have Type-C charger blocks. So we're all stuck still going, whether it's an Apple device or not. If it's got a Type-C charge, you still have to pay big money for a Type-C charger, which you can get any USB charger like standard for like, you know, $1 or $2 at your local dollar store. But, you know, when it comes to Type-C, ching baby! And there's nothing wrong with those dollar store chargers, by the way. We've used them and we still have them in service and they work great. So, let's see what we got in here. We should have some Apple stickers with any luck. And we do. Ooh, king size. We got some big Apple stickers. Alright, go on with the rest of my collection. And we got our usual little things of literature. And so they have different colors. And I kind of like blue. I'm kind of glad I saw the green because I don't really like the green one. Even though I do like green, it's just not that nice of a green. But even the blue one was kind of questionable because what you see on video is different on everybody's screen, right? So it's kind of really hard to tell what the color is in real life till you actually experience it for yourself. But I do like the color blue, so we are going to see how blue this blue really is. Judging by what I'm seeing, well, on one angle it looks silver. On another angle it kind of looks blue. It kind of depends on the lighting and how it hits it. It's kind of very metallic-y, and metallic colors will always alter themselves in different lighting, so it kind of depends on which way you hold it. On the side it looks good. That actually kind of looks blue there on the side. And this is supposed to have fingerprint ID actually on the top. So let's fire this thing up. Oh, you know it's going to fire up for us. Alright. So anyway, very affordable going through your cell carrier and get your nice expensive toys. But I like to also stay on top of tech to a certain point. I really couldn't justify going into like the 12-inch kind of iPad, and it's enough to get used to no more home button as it is on my iPhone 12 mini. It's like, Now I got to do it here too, but it's not a big deal. At least here we still got our fingerprint ID here, but they don't have it on the 12 mini, so it's all Face ID or type in your password. So I'm going to go off camera for a minute. That is, wow, that's like 93% charged. So I've been waiting for this thing since, well, it's been just shy of actually, I think around 2 months now, or just over, somewhere around there. My wife would know better than me when we ordered it, but it's been a while, and we thought it was in stock. At least that's the impression we were given by our courier. Yeah, it's in stock, we'll send it out right away, blah, blah, blah. You know, yeah, and yeah, there was even problems getting my phone and my new phone, and oh, drive you nuts. And then they said, you know, you should be getting it any time. You know, we'll send you a mail when we know it's been shipped. We just got the email right after it got delivered. Your product is on its way. Really? It's here already. So I'm going to go off screen, sign into this thing, and we'll take a look over it, see what it comes with from the factory, get things going. So, instant for you guys. Okay guys, I'm all signed in and got Chrome downloaded because I prefer to surf with Chrome. I'm really not a real Safari fan. So these are all just the apps that come with the iPad right out of the factory. You know, so you're going to get your FaceTime, your home, your clock, calendar, photos, camera, reminders, notes, voice memos, contacts, maps, Find My, iPad or iPhone. App Store, of course, books, podcasts, TV, news, stocks, settings, a measuring tool, and of course Chrome you download separate. Then you get Photo Booth, shortcuts, iTunes, tips, App Store, clips, iMovie, of course, which is going to be a lot nicer to be on a bigger screen with as opposed to a phone. Keynote, numbers, pages, and GarageBand. And GarageBand can be fun. I prefer it on a larger screen on an iDevice, even though I'm not a real fan of the GarageBand app. I'm going to start spending more time with it because I was playing around with it the other day and I finally figured out how to get access to the recording area for what I do on my Mac. And so I'm going to give it a go and, you know, see what it's like. But I'm going to need some sort of an adapter for going into the Type-C port and, you know, for putting audio in. But otherwise, I mean, it's pretty good. So, and of course you got keyboard. And you can record your stuff. You guys know how GarageBand works by now, you know. And if you don't, because you're new to iDevices, well, GarageBand's a very powerful program for recording your own music. There's a lot of built-in instruments, obviously, that you can mess with. There's a full sound library as well. You can download other free instruments, sounds, and loops to add into your stuff. External hookup, of course. You've got a drummer, create beats and fills using a virtual session drummer. And then, of course, you've got different instruments as well in here. The guitar is kind of cool. I like it. Now, you can also edit the chords, too. So if you don't like what's here already, you can edit to different chords. So if you wanted to change the A minor, etc., you can edit all that stuff and just put your own in. And you can actually play songs once you get good enough at doing it. You can actually play songs like this. So, and there's also electric guitars as well, that sort of thing, bass guitars, stringed instruments, of course, straight out audio recording to record your voice or any sound instrument as well. Okay, different amps you can play with your guitar, distorted bass, more sounds, clean, etc. That sort of deal. So, and then just swipe up to get out of it. To actually close down apps. This is going to be the same way as any of the iPhones that don't have a home button anymore, and that's just go into a corner and put some pressure down, kind of like this, and then once you get it up to there, swipe and your program is closed. I'm liking the display on it. I like the size. I mean, as compared to like the 7th gen iPads, this is actually around the same size physically, except you get a lot more screen area. Obviously, you're not cut off at the top and the bottom, you know, because of course there's no home button anymore. Of course, this is our top side here with our camera. Now the camera is 4K out the back and 720 or 1080p in the front. So we've got our 4K at 30 frames per second. We can just tap it to HD, HD 60, 4K at 60 frames per second. Of course, like I said, this is the back camera. We can just tap and now we've got our front camera. And our front camera is HD 60, 720p 30, HD 30, HD 60. So we don't have 4K in the front, which is not a big deal. Okay, so it's just a matter of just tapping right in this area here to go to the different ones that you want to record with. So pretty simplified sort of deal here. I like HD 60 frames per second myself. So anyways, we've also got Type-C busing on this one, which is a nice little improvement over what they've done to our iPhone 12s and still leaving lightning ports, which is ridiculous. If you're going to go Type-C, go all the way. But at least we did get a charge cable that's Type-C to Type-C with a power brick, which is great. So now if I want to, I can use this power brick with my iPhone if I want to. Except I do have a wireless charger, so I'm not worried about the whole brick thing anymore, but that's fine. Now, we did put, my wife actually put a screen protector on. I had tried myself and mucked up, and I guess maybe it was just not a properly cut one. I had some issues, so she put the last one on for me, so I'm going to have to order more. I did actually put on a ESR case, just a clear case. Now, when you look in different lighting, it could appear blue or it could appear gray or more silver. It's kind of one of those things. The edges are pretty consistent at the blue, but it's not the kind of blue that we all hoped for. Same as the green, same as the other colors. We actually hoped that Apple would do something, you know, kind of like what they did with this. Now this is a blue, right? But this is also glass that's been painted on the inside. So we get a really beautiful blue. And it would have been nice had they had something that actually matched right. So, but you know, it's maybe if they get enough complaints, they'll fix it in the next run of tablets. You also have little support feet underneath this ESR protector as well, plus camera protection too. So at least when you do lay it down flat, everything is completely protected. Even laying it down this way, there's risen feet basically. Keeps your screen off the surface, so you're not going to muck up your screen any. But I do highly recommend a screen protector. And this corner is actually kind of lifting a little bit on me. Wonder if maybe that's the case doing it. Could be. So the glass goes right edge to edge with the ESR glass. I think maybe they should have made it to go just a hairball on the inside there. This is something I may have to put up with for a little while. Maybe I'll try getting some non-ESR glass. I went for ESR glass and ESR case because I have the same thing on my phone and it's actually been fine for both. But I guess they got a little too edge to edge here on the glass. I'm going to have that constant little problem for a little bit. But at least my screen's protected. So, it's known as the iPad Pro Killer. We'll see with time. It does have stereo speakers on the bottom. Other holes here where sound will travel, but there are no speakers up top, whereas the Pro has speakers, you know, 2 here and 2 actual speakers here on the Pro model. But this is the iPad 4th generation, and it's actually pretty nice. I like it, and I like having access. We've got fingerprint ID up top as well, which is nice on our button. Now, one thing I found interesting, push and hold, Siri pops up.
I didn't get that.
Yeah.
Did you try again?
No. So the only way I know right now to shut this off is, you know, if I just keep pressing and holding, normally an iPad would eventually go and shut down, same as your phone would. It ain't doing it. So, could we tell...
I'm not sure I understand.
Siri, shut down my iPad.
That may be beyond my abilities at the moment.
So she can't do it. So the only way that I know of to shut down the iPad is to go into settings and you hit shutdown, and then you can actually swipe and shut down the iPad. It's the only way I know how to shut this thing down. No other solution yet. So that's kind of interesting. I would have suspected that if you pressed and holded long enough on your power button, you know, you would be able to shut it down. The same way you turn it on, you do have to press and hold till you see the apple appear. Or maybe just a few seconds and then let go. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. Didn't have it quite down right. The case goes right flush top to the button, so you got to make sure you press down. So yeah, so that's the only way I know how to shut the darn thing down so far. But it does have a bit of a thick border around the edges, though. You know, we could get a lot more screen real estate. Of course, now it wants me to put in a passcode. Hang on, guys. There we go. So yeah, we could get more screen out of this if the borders were a lot thinner. I'm sure Apple can pull that off. I mean, hey, it's their tech, they can do it. But this is kind of a little bit weird with the whole fingerprint ID and power button, that you can't shut your iPad off unless you go to settings and select shutdown. That's kind of weird. And Siri apparently can't handle doing that. Otherwise, in general, guys, I'm pretty impressed so far. I'm going to spend a couple days, load up the software that I want on this iPad. I still have my 7th gen. I wanted to have a second one. You know, like I said, I had my reasons for it. One of which is for music, but also other things. So I'm going to load this thing up. I'm going to mess with it for a while. I'll play around with iMovie a bit, let you know what I think about that sort of thing. And we'll come in with other videos as far as, you know, mirroring this off my Mac, for example, wirelessly. See how it responds compared to my 7th gen iPad as well. Maybe we'll put them head to head on a test for that, but otherwise it's doing great. And so far, even the battery life, since we even started this video, I've been sitting around for the last, I don't know, couple hours, and it had 93% charge, I think it was, when we started, and it's only at 84, you know. Yeah, so far, not a bad little machine. So that's pretty cool. Just one little click and puts her to sleep. And we have our up and down for our volume here as well. This is going to be, I guess, for charging our Apple Pen, which I want to get one. The only other accessory I'd like to get for this thing, other than the pen obviously, would be the, they got the Apple keyboard. It's the same one being used for the iPad Pro. This one actually fits on that particular unit. That's a lot of money though. But I am going to get it when I get the money. I will pick one up because I do want that specific one for this, which at that time I could probably annihilate this case and stop messing around with this corner here on the glass. But yeah, neat little machine so far. So anyway, let me know what you think. It's going to be a while before a review hits. I don't know how long exactly. We'll see how much time I get to spend with it in the next bit. I still got to do some rearranging in the room again with monitors and my computers, and I got my new screen today for my computer that I still got to mess around with and whatnot. But anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. See ya.